Namaskar. I'm Karuna Venkatesh and you are watching the Tarkwad Show. The 130th Constitutional Amendment Bill has plunged Parliament into a constitutional crisis, with a joint parliamentary committee stalled amid opposition boycotts and a fierce debate over moral governance versus political vendetta. India's democracy faces a critical test. In this video, we break down the legal, constitutional, and political battle gripping the nation. The bill introduced on August 20, 2025 was referred to a JPC for scrutiny, but over a week later, the committee remains unformed. The Trinamool Congress, Samajwadi Party and Aam Aadmi Party have boycotted the proceedings, with the Congress considering joining them. The opposition demands wider consultations with constitutional experts and state governments, accusing the government of rushing the process. Why does this deadlock matter? Because a constitutional amendment requires two-thirds majority, 362 votes if all members are present. The NDA has 293 seats, falling short of this threshold. The government must rely on allies like JDU and TDP, who have expressed reservations about grey areas and potential misuse. The bill seeks to amend Article 75, 164 and 239AA of the Constitution, which governs the Union Council of Ministers, state councils and Delhi administration. It mandates that any PM, CM or minister arrested for offences punishable with 5 or more years in jail must be removed after 30 consecutive days in custody. Reappointment is allowed only after release. Currently, the Representation of People's Act, that is the RPA, disqualifies legislators only after conviction and a sentence of 2 years or more. The bill shifts this goalpost from conviction to custody, triggering removal before trial. This clashes with the presumption of innocence, a cornerstone of our legal system. Home Minister Amit Shah defends the bill as a moral necessity, asking, should secretaries take order from jail? He cited historical resignations on moral grounds, including his own in 2010. Conversely, Kapil Sibal counters, has any BJP minister been arrested, accusing the government of constitutional immorality? Data fuels this debate. Since 2014, 95% of ED cases targeted opposition leaders, with a conviction rate of just 1%. 23 of 25 opposition leaders who switched to the BJP saw cases against them go cold. The opposition argues this bill legalizes weaponization, while the government insists it upholds accountability. The bill threatens federal balance. Governors, lieutenant governors acting on central advice could remove state ministers, centralizing power and destabilizing opposition governments. Legal experts warn it may violate the basic structure doctrine by undermining executive independence and separation of powers. The Supreme Court's stance is clear. The Manoj Narula 2014 urged Parliament to legislate on ministerial accountability but upheld the presumption of innocence. The court may now face challenges on whether custody-based removal aligns with Article 14. The Law Commission's 170th report recommended disqualification only after charges are framed. Opponents argue this bill ignores such safeguards. The JPC's role is to build these gaps, but with boycotts persisting, the stalemate risks becoming a constitutional crisis. Without bipartisan consensus, the bill may stall. Alternatively, the government could introduce judicial oversight or exclude frivolous arrests. But as tensions escalate, the nation watches whether democracy will be strengthened or weaponized. The 130th Amendment isn't just about laws, it's about the soul of our democracy. Will it cleanse politics or become a tool for oppression? The answer lies in the JPC's ability to rise above politics and protect constitutional values. This is Karuna Venkatesh. Keep watching Tarkwad to stay informed on this developing story. Namaskar.